Hello, boys and girls. This is lesson 16, session 2. So get your book and a pencil and open your book to page 361. This is a develop using unit rates to find equivalent ratios. Lesson 16, session 2. And last time I saw you, we did session 1. So you should already have an idea of what a unit rate is, where we have to find one of the measurements to be a 1 to find the unit rate, and then using that unit rate to find equivalent ratios. So we're going to look at the first problem, read it together, and then try to solve it on our own and then compare. So the problem is Ashwani jogs on the track at her school. She uses a watch to track her progress. At this rate, how long will it take her to jog 16 laps? So I come over here and I look. It takes her 15 minutes to jog 6 laps. That's key information. So I've got this rate here. I need to find a way to find out how much for 16 laps. Why don't you stop the video and answer this question and then come back. Hopefully you have come back with an answer. And I went ahead and drew mine because it was easier not to do it while I was talking. So you could have used a double number line, where I have this is my laps and my minutes, a 0 and 0. So I knew my rate was 6 to 15. 6 laps for every 15 minutes. If I divided both of these by the greatest common factor, I'm going to divide by 3, and I got a rate of 2 to 5. Now that 2 can go into 16. So 2 times 8 gives me 16. 5 times 8 gives me 40. You should have gotten it takes 40 minutes to go 16 laps. So a double number line is an effective way to do this. I also think, and personally I think this is easier, just to do division. So you could do 15 divided by 6 because I want to find out how much for one minute or one lap is 2.5. So then I take that 2.5 times the 16. I don't want to double set. So times the 16 laps, and that's going to give me 40. So it takes her 40 minutes to go 16 laps. So personally, I think it's easier just to divide to find your unit rate and then to multiply by the number you need to get. Let's go ahead and look at the way they modeled it. You could use a table, which is similar to the double number line, where they did 6 laps, and they did this to find equivalent ratios. 6 laps, if I divide them both by 6, I get 1 lap in 2.5 minutes. So therefore, 16 laps is going to be 16 times 2.5. The other model it, you can divide the numbers in the ratio. 15 divided by 6 is the same as 5 to 2, which is the same as 2.5. Multiply the number of laps by the unit rate for the minutes per lap. Finding the unit rate is the secret to finding any equivalent ratio. Makes it really easy once you find the unit rate to move on to the other ratios. So let's turn to the next page. We are now on page 365. And the first connected problem. Look at the table in the first model it. Where do you see the unit rate for the ratio of minutes to laps? Describe how the unit rate was found. So I would like you to stop this and go ahead and answer this question and then come back. You should have said the unit rate is the number 2.5 in the second row. 2.5 in the second row. And how did you get it? Dividing 6 and 15 by 6. Divide 6 and 15 by 6 to get 2.5 minutes. Because I'm turning this 6 into a 1 to give me my unit rate. Number 2, look at the second modelet. Why can you use a fraction to show the unit rate for the ratio of minutes to laps? Why don't you stop, answer the question, and then come back. You divide the numbers in a ratio to find the unit rate. A fraction shows the division of the numerator and the denominator. So don't forget, if you are writing a fraction, such as, how did we do that? 15 divided by 6. 15 divided by 6. This fraction, this bar in between them, the fraction bar means to divide. So you divide the numbers in a ratio. Divide the numbers to find your rate. I'm going to abbreviate numbers to find the rate. And number 3, write a multiplication expression that uses the unit rate to find the missing value of the equivalent ratio. How long will it take Ashwani to jog 16 laps? Hopefully you knew that you're going to do 16 times 2.5. So it will take her 40 minutes to jog 16 laps. Number 4, how long will it take her to do 22 laps? Now, I already know the unit rate is 1 for 2.5. So 22 laps, I'm going to do 22 times 2.5. Try it out, and you should have gotten 55 minutes. So therefore, once I found that unit rate, I could figure out no matter how many laps it is, I would just multiply, which kind of answers number 5. How does a unit rate relate the two quantities in a ratio? How can a unit rate help you solve the problems involving equivalent ratios? So a unit rate is a factor that relates the two quantities in a ratio. You can multiply or divide by a unit rate to find the missing value of an equivalent ratio. So once you find the unit rate, you can multiply or divide by that unit rate to find the missing piece. The unit rate can be multiplied. I'm going to abbreviate multiplied or divided to find the equivalent ratio. Equivalent ratio. I hope you guys can read this. Okay, number 6, think about all the models and strategies you've discussed today. Describe how one of them helped you better understand how to use a unit rate to find equivalent ratios. I just want you to write down which strategy you use. Do you use a table, a double number line? Do you use division to find equivalent ratios? And your assignment then is to go ahead and finish number 7, 8, and 9 on page 366. And then make sure you check your Google Classroom assignments to see if there's anything else you need to do today.